Imagine you are standing at the bottom of a steep hill. For most people, it's just a normal path. But for you, it feels impossible. Before you even take a step, your mind starts racing. What if I fail? What if I look stupid? What if something goes wrong? And by the time you finish thinking, you're already exhausted and you have no energy to actually start moving forward. Well, for chronic overthinkers, this isn't just a hill, it's everyday life. We're often told that the solution is simple. Talk about it. And while talking can help, some forms of therapy, which have basis in a traditional talk therapy, focus heavily on analyzing the past and understanding why we feel the way we do. But for chronic overthinkers, that can sometimes lead to even more thinking, no less. Today, I'm arguing that chronic overthinkers should use specific cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT techniques instead of relying only on traditional talk therapy because CBT gives practical tools to break rumination cycles and creates real change. First, I'll explain the problem with getting stuck in overthinking. Second, I'll show how CBT offers a solution. Third, I'll show what life looks like when you break the cycle. Because yes, it is possible and you can do it yourself. And finally, I'll give you a simple tool you can use today. Let's start with the problem. Many chronic overthinkers spend so much time trying to understand why they feel a certain way that they never learn how to stop the cycle. In her TED talk, Jennifer Willis explained that it is not the hill itself that shapes our experiences, but it's how we frame it, what we think about it, how does that make us feel. Think about that for a second. If we spend all our time analyzing how steep the hill is, we never actually start moving forward. We're just exhausted. That's what overthinking does. It keeps people stuck in analyzing instead of thinking. According to the therapist Christine Wilding, some people become stuck when they focus too heavily on analyzing problems without learning practical strategies to manage them instead. And as college students, we feel this every day. We replay conversation, we overthink exams, we question every decisions and our future careers and grades. And instead of solving problems, we spiral into them. Not fun, right? So if overthinking keeps us stuck, what do we do instead? What's the solution? Well, that's where CBT comes in with help. CBT focuses on changing thought pattern in the present instead of endlessly revisiting the past. One of its most useful tools is the ABC model. And I brought it here for you. I draw it so that you could follow me while I explain it. This is the ABC method. It starts with A, which stands for activating event. The activating event in our example of a college student can be a low grade on an exam. After we get our low grades, B comes in, belief. I'm a failure. What does that tell us about us? What does the event tell us about me that I'm a failure? After the belief, the consequences come in. Anxiety. So many students have anxiety. And other consequences. They can be emotional, behavioral. We can develop anger issues. You can be angry. You can lose passion. So many things can happen. You can hurt yourself. They happen way too many times. But CBT challenges those beliefs. Is one grade really proof that you're a failure, or is it just one moment in time? According to Wilding, CBT works because it helps people identify and challenge distorted thinking patterns using practical, structured tools instead of endless analysis. It asks questions like, what am I telling myself right now? Who am I? Is this thought actually true? What evidence supports or contradicts it? Those questions interrupt the spiral. Now, some people argue that you need to understand your path in order to heal. And that's fair. That's a good point. But understanding the past doesn't automatically change the present. That's what the psychologist Ian Evans says. It explains that thoughts influence action. That means that changing current beliefs is often the most direct way to change a behavior, not the mind, but actually changing and asking questions. Why do I feel like this? How can I challenge that? Now, imagine this. The next time a negative thought appears, you notice it immediately. And instead of spiraling, you pause. You question it, and you let it go. It is possible. I'm telling you. Imagine walking into an exam without self-doubt weighing you down. Imagine making a mistake without replaying it for days. That's what breaking the cycle looks like. Now imagine the opposite. Years of overthinking, costing down, mental exhaustion that never fully goes away. The difference between those two futures comes down to what you do with your thoughts today. So here's your challenge. Try a simple CBT thought record, and I'll show it to you because I wrote it down. So, thought record exercise. You start with a situation. For example, the low exam score. What's your initial feeling? How do you feel? How does your body feel? You may feel anxious, embarrassed, angry. What is the negative thinking attached to it? I'm a failure. I will never succeed. But then next, where's the evidence that proves your negative thinking? Well, I didn't do as well as I wanted. I made stupid mistakes in the exams. And then go a step forward. What's an alternative thinking that might have happened for what reason? Challenge this negative thought. Well, even if the exam was disappointing, it does not mean or define how smart I am. I can learn from it and improve my grade and experience for next time. Mistakes don't kill you. They shape the way you move forward. At the beginning of the speech, I asked you to imagine a steep hill. That hill doesn't disappear from day to night. But with the right tools, you learn how to climb it differently and how to experience it differently and how to give it the right meaning. So stop analyzing every step and start taking one.